The deadline's approaching to apply for new luxury apartments at the cost of workforce and affordable housing. Located across the street from the TD Garden, the 239 units are in a 14-story building known as the Beverly, developed by Related Beal. To tell us about the development and the application process is an associate at Related Beal, Andrew Hayes. Thank you very much for being with us, Andrew.
Thank you for having me.
Andrew, when developers create affordable housing, they usually do it in a different way. Either they have it scattered within a given building or maybe even put out to another location. Why did Related Beal do it this way?
Sure. Well, one thing that I would say is Related was founded on affordable housing. Back in 1978, Stephen Ross, who was our founder, created the company that was really only focused on affordable housing. So it really is inherent and part of our DNA. Over the years, we've obviously grown to include, market rate commercial, luxury, residential. But as we've grown, the focus has really been continuing to focus on placemaking and creating places in the cities that all of the city's residents and citizens can be a part of. And this project is really one representation of that. As you may be aware, Related Beal actually has two other projects that we've developed in the North Station area, Lovejoy Wharf across the street, as well as the Converse headquarters directly adjacent to that. So, this is just one example of where Related, looking towards our history in affordable housing, has created a new network there within the North Station neighborhood.
Of course, I know there's a tax deal that makes this possible. There's some other incentives coming in from the state.
Yes.
But talk about the mission here, because if you don't have this, I guess you get a luxury area with solely luxury people. And
right.
I guess you don't want that.
No, absolutely. And the building itself is really very similar, if not, we think better than some of the buildings in the neighborhood. Top of the line appliances, top of the line design. We have top floor amenities, which include, party rooms, full fitness center. We have a children's room as well as a pet spa. So, all the things that the modern renter is really looking for, but just at affordable rents. And what we've tried to do here was try to create an opportunity for the people who really make the city run. So that's the teachers, the firefighters, the police officers, the young professionals who unfortunately are getting priced out of the city today. This is an opportunity for them to live really in the heart of it, right across from North Station, in a transit-oriented location with access to all of the T-lines, commuter rail, as well as the Amtrak. So it's an exciting opportunity to be able to deliver this quality of a product to the people who really can take the most advantage of it.
And of course, you still get the same kind of high-rise views that some of the neighbors are going to get.
Of course, no. I mean, the views are absolutely incredible. We have a common amenity space on our 14th floor, which includes a grill, which is accessible to all of the residents in the building. One of the nice things about having a project like this, is that we can put our amenity spaces, which are shared spaces, on the top floor, where a lot of the market rate buildings will reserve that for some of the higher rent units. But this is a space that all the residents can share and enjoy. So you've got fantastic views of Back Bay, the waterfront, the downtown North End. So it really is, it's an incredible spot within the city to observe in the city around you.
This is BNN News. We're talking with Andrew Hayes from Related Beal. Andrew, turning to something that's more mundane but maybe more essential here is this is not just for couples or individuals. You got some 3-bedroom units here too?
We do. We have 24 3-bedroom units. One of the big focuses of the mayor's initiative with the Boston 2030 is to make sure that there's more housing for families as well. So we're really excited to be able to deliver 24 family-size units in this project.
Now, this is described as affordable and workforce housing. Both of those terms can be a little vague, so explain, what do they mean exactly?
Sure. So effectively what the 191 workforce units are reserved for families and households that are individuals rather in households that earn between $64,000 and $198,000. So that's a pretty wide spectrum. And again, the goal there is to capture much of kind of the middle income in the city. Similarly, on the lower end of the spectrum, we have about 48 affordable units, which are reserved for kind of the more traditional affordable income bands that the city sees.
Now, of course, the most important thing maybe to say here is that if you haven't applied for these, you don't have much time left.
That's absolutely right. So applications are only available until August 30th, so we have less than a week. And the goal from there is actually to have the submissions are due on September 6th. So we encourage everyone to go onto the beverlyboston.com. fill out an inquiry form, download an application, and submit by September 6th. And really, a lot of people have asked us, when are move-ins starting? Move-ins start on January 2018, but a lot of people actually have leases that roll at different points throughout the year. But we're encouraging everyone who's interested in the project to apply. We've had a great interest to date, and we really want to make sure that everyone who's interested gets on the wait list, even if they aren't ready to move in January.
By the way, what about the documentation? Is it much more than just your tax returns and?
Yeah, I mean, so it is a slightly more robust process than you would traditionally see for a market rate project. But the goal then again there is to make sure that you are earning the amounts that the project was designated for. So it's not overly cumbersome, but it is a little bit more than you would traditionally see for a market rate project.
I want to ask you something else about what's going on with this development, and maybe even with some of the ones that are maybe less affordable. That there was once a time when we thought that people who had options would not want to live downtown with all this traffic, especially if you're raising children.
Right.
I mean, I guess people are different today.
No, absolutely. I think Boston is certainly seeing a major shift over the last 10 or 15 years, and more markedly, I guess, over the last 5 years, where people really are moving back to the city. Young couples with families are trying to stay in the urban core. It really is more about that that placemaking, that live, work, play, trying to have all of those amenities that are both in your building and in your neighborhoods available to you. And the cities obviously are primed to provide that.
And of course, one of the other things you're doing from the outset here is you're providing space for bikes. And I guess you're going to need a lot of that.
We are. So we will have actually 239 bike racks in the building. So that is, again, further to the mayor's initiative and the city's goals of creating a city that is more pedestrian and bike friendly. That is one of the unique features of the building.
And dog friendly.
And dog friendly, yes.
You've got a spa for the dogs.
We do have a pet spa, that's correct.
We should mention finally one more time the website where people should go to for the
TheBeverlyBoston.com.
All right, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Andrew Hayes from Related Beal. We'll have more news with the Dorchester Report and Bill Forey.